you were ever up that way, if you see Aunt Angeline, she could tell you all.
Well, how old is Aunt Angeline? Let's talk about her.
She's real, she was in the area.
And what is her last name?
Angeline Rackley, R-A-C-K-L-E-Y.
R-A-C-K-L-E-Y?
That was Mama's sister,
Where does she live?
below Smyrna. Your Uncle Jack and Aunt Alice now moved on. Aunt Minnie and Aunt Lily went to see her not long ago. Was it Aunt Lily? Aunt Minnie had been to see her. And she knows all those people. She can tell you all about those Osborns. And
Now, she was a sister of Mary Louisa Southern.
yeah. And that Lou Isaac, that was Lou Isaac Kennemer.
Southern
And the
Mulkey.
Kennemers were related in there, and the Williamses on Grandma's side.
Daughter of
Wait a minute, the Kennemers are related into
K-E-N-N-E.
I know the Kennemers.
Yeah,
now
they
where-
were related to Grandma Southern. I say they
I
were.
see.
And the Williamses, that came in on Grandma's side.
Okay.
I never did know much about Grandpa's people. That's all he had, just his father and
She's
mother.
close to 80 years old, you think? And then,
Yes, she
Oh, yes.
But her memory is good. That she could tell you. I know she can tell you all about all the parties.
She can tell you
She can tell you
Yeah,
fortune
she'd
too,
read.
yeah.
That's what I need.
She can tell you fortune.
that's what I need. Let me throw out some names of Southerns that may, at the beginning, bring no names back to you. Or they may. They're all the generation of Oliver, whom I'm not clear whether he's a brother of Aaron's or not, because Aaron isn't showing up as a brother in my list, but I keep sometimes other word brother and somebody fills it in.
Oliver Southern was, he lived right up there, he lived down out there.
How did the age compare?
Well, that's what I don't know. Let me explain what I have here. He had an older sister named Polly. I don't know whether that ever came back. He married a Jack Reese.
Holly Reese,
Do you remember that?
I heard him talk about it.
Okay. They had children named
Me
Jefferson.
and Angeline can tell you some blood
All right.
curdling ones if you
Then
look
they
back
had
at
children named Jefferson, Doc, Marion, Fayette, called
Fayette
Fayette,
Reese, yeah, I know him.
John,
Oh,
Will,
Will Reese.
and then Sarah married Uncle Joe Mulkey. That was one of their youngest
Oh, and
girls.
she was another one.
And then Mary, well, she was a heller, did
Another
you?
one of those that he
Okay.
said, I heard.
Sarah was.
Yeah,
Then Mary married Pinckney Goss.
Pink Gauze,
Do you
yeah.
remember? What do you remember about any of them? Did you
I
ever
don't know a thing except just what I've heard Mom and Daddy and Grandpa and Grandma. Well, that was, it was Pink.
Which, now, Dr. N.H. Goss is another one, Nathaniel H. And Pink, I think, was Pinckney was a preacher, I believe.
I don't think he was a doctor, Pink Gauze. I don't
No, Pink was a preacher, I believe, and Nathaniel H. Goss gets married into this.
Well, if you go see Aunt Angeline, she can tell you about every one of those people.
You think she knew the Southerns, huh?
Oh, she
Okay.
was one.
But this is interesting, he said Fayette Reese.
It's Fate, though.
Oh, Fate.
They call him Fate.
I have Fayette written out as what's on his birth certificate, but I think the F-A-T-E is what I've got for what they call him. That's common, to change something. Then there was a Sally. I don't know whether that anything.
Sally Oliver.
Second one. She married a Jason Aiken.
Yeah, the Aikenses and the Youngbloods.
Then there was a Will Southern, and a Warren, and a Miles.
Yeah, Miles Southern.
You remember a Miles?
Yeah.
Just by name.
And what was,
Now Warren.
And there's a third sister whose name I've never figured out, married a Jasper Weaver, people think. I don't know her name. And then there was a Patsy,
Mike Southern? That was Grandpa's brother, Mike Southern.
Mike Southern was,
Roy and
I may be sure now, you're talking about Aaron Southern, had a brother named Mike?
Mike. His wife's name was Cassie, but I don't know who she was. Cassie
M-I-K-E,
I guess it was Michael, but they called him Mike.
had a brother. Well, I need to pick, see, where you're in trouble, I guess you can only piece it together. There's no birth records, so, if there's no Bibles, you sort of just put it together. He had a brother, Mike, and what was his wife's name?
Her name was C-A-S-S-I-E, but I don't know what
C?
C-A-S-S-I-E, Cassie. Now, Aunt Angeline would know who she was, but I don't. Just ain't Cassie's.
Who else did Aaron Southern have as brother or sister, if you can think of, besides a brother Mike?
That's the only one I know.
There's another, here's a Haygood. This Patsy, also Oliver Southern, some type of either half-sister or something younger, married a Tom Haygood, one person thought.
You know what they used to call that name? You haven't got that one. What they used to call that name up there was Hagwood. Hagwood. That's what
They
I
called
heard.
Hagood, Hagwood. You see, that comes out of the earlier days of when names were all verbal before they were written down, you know. It's why you get so many S-O-Ns at the end of names, you know, Sander's son. And it all began, he was the son of Sander, you know.
Yeah.
And then nobody wrote anything down when they had to keep making X's at the end. They had to give them the name Sanderson.
Yeah.
And that sounds like, you know, you're still coming out of that period. Aunt Nancy Southern, does that ring any bells with you?
It was
A
Nancy.
daughter of Oliver by a second marriage.
Uncle Bob Evans and his wife, I think, was
Was
named
a
Nancy.
Nancy,
What? Dale, you all know about as much history as I do.
Bob
Oh,
Evans.
Is who they went to, they all went to visit up at that.
Well, Aunt Nance was, how was
Yeah, no, I
Mulkey
think
and
I
Aunt
see what you
Nan
mean, yeah.
related?
Yeah, no, I think I've
And he
got
was his
that, yeah.
brother-in-law. Aunt Nance must
Yeah.
have been Grandpa's
I've
sister.
got that on a chart, I think. Let me see where he gets
I never
into
thought
it.
about it, but it had to be.
Huh?
Had to be, because they were
The-
brother-in-laws, and they was always, they got along, but they were always seesawing in the church and politics.
Well, that's going back from
Well, that's,
Mulkey to, see, Kim Mulkey was married for life to Sparks. The Sparks go back to William Sparks. He married a Scarborough. And she goes back to Scarborough and Grubbs, but you can't carry him back any further, and you can't carry the Mulkeys too far back. Much easier to do the present generation than these old ones.
yes, sir.
If
I
you
would
all,
have your job. I'd never get anywhere, because I just...
well, it fortunately isn't. I figure if I put in some charts at the back of it along this line, it'll be useful to a few hundred people who just have no record of anything. And you might as well stick it in to... Another thing was, when did you first see a colored person?
Must have known Mose.
Well, I don't remember him, though. I probably had seen him, but I never could remember him. But I know that he's buried, and he's the only colored person buried in Ebenezer Cemetery. I don't know what his...
You
I guess
think
he
that's
didn't have a lot
because
of...
Warren's wife, called Granny Southern, brought
This
Uncle
colored man,
Mose
he came with
from
him.
Southern,
South
South Carolina.
That's what I always was told.
Okay. You think she might have been a Williams? Is that your guess? maybe?
No, I don't think
No,
so.
okay.
Grandma Southern, Aaron's wife, was a Williams.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Her husband, but her people were from the Williamses.
Yeah.
That's where that...
Osborne, mother, her maiden, her mother's maiden name might have been Williams.
Yeah, that's possible. Well, she always called Uncle Fonzie. He was her
Someone
uncle.
else may know better.
And he was a Williams. What would that have made Grandma? She was bound to be with that branch. But
Members of English descent. Or brought Uncle Mose. Only black in Ebenezer.
mhm.
Well,
When did you first see it, Father? When you moved to Smyrna?
Yeah.
you were 11 years old then. When did you see your first railroad?
Well, they had the little L&N at their LJ.
Did you go into Ellerday?
Yeah, I'd seen that.
Did your dad take you with him?
Yeah.
What would you be doing when you went
Well,
into
we'd go
Ellerday?
in the shop. That's the only place there were any stores, you know.
Yeah.
If you want to get materials for clothes or
Mhm.
the doctor or anything, it's LJ you had to go.
What about
Well,
a
there's Dr.
doctor? Did you
Arcade.
ever see a doctor at your house?
Oh, yeah.
Who?
Doc Goss. I don't know what his first name.
NH?
I guess it was same. And Dr. What was the woman that she was a school teacher and he was Chasteen, Doc Chasteen.
Yeah. What did it wasn't to deliver babies, it was more for sickness? Was that what they came to?
They had the doctors delivered the babies, but us children were taken somewhere else
Mm-hmm.
when that happened. We never were there.
Okay. All these births were at home as long as they were in
Mm.
Gilmer County, right?
And we're in.
Always.
And they were in
Always.
Kennesaw? Okay.
But they always had a doctor, but it was always at home.
Okay.
I don't remember the doctor's name except I used to know. It delivered me. Lester.
Lester.
Dr. Lester delivered you. You don't know what he charged, do you?
I didn't know. I wasn't worried about that then.
No, you weren't worried.
Not much.
They were free chickens, didn't
That was trading, that was for sure, of some type.
Goes with gold.
When you started the school, you went to Oakland? And
We
how
walked.
many,
It was about
how many rooms was open?
1, 2, 3. There's one big room went all the way across, and there was 2 on this side.
How many teachers?
3.
As Gilmer County schools went, Oakland was a big school.
It was a good school,
It
considered
was a good school. Do you remember your first teacher at Oakland?
Oh dear. Eva. Oh, I can see her now. She had wavy black hair, and even though she had the black hair, she had freckles. Lola Swan.
Lola Swan was your first
She was
teacher?
my first teacher.
Was she good?
Yes, she was. She was a wonderful teacher. And then this doctor's wife called Dr. I can't remember.
Chastain.
He was my next teacher. And then
She
Dr.
was.
William James was the principal.
What grade were you in when you left?
Finished 11.
Age 11.
Finished 11.
10 to.
11 you didn't.
You were age
I was
11.
11, yeah. No, it couldn't have been. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Did you meet your husband then after you had gone down to
Marietta.
Marietta?
No, I met her in Marietta. Well, he was, but I met him in the park in Marietta. They were having a holiday thing. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Now it's coming out.
Wait a minute.
He was sitting over there and he knew more about it than either one of y'all.
I know. Y'all been talking to him.
First pick up in the family.
In the park. Well, y'all don't know what I'm talking about. You forgot about the
Yeah.
old singing conventions. Well, they're having a singing convention, and I was there with this Mama and Daddy and this Miss, what was her name, Mama? Oh gosh, what was that? What was Baldwin? Why don't you speak up? You remember that stuff? I can't remember.
That's who I was thinking.
Yeah.
Well, see how good your connection was.
So good when you get back there. It's just like pulling hair. I can't remember anything.
What kin was Nathaniel Benjamin West's wife, Mary Ann Southern, to the Southerns in your family?
I've heard tell of Mary Ann Southern, but I don't know who she was. I
She
tell
was
you,
the
Ann
wife-
Angeline could really tell me all
Okay.
this stuff. I just don't know.
She was the wife.
Oakdale. You know
Oakdale, right near Uncle Jack Morales.
Where Angela
Yeah.
is.
We've got, this is a person about 80, buddy, that we haven't heard of before, that knows the Southerns,
The Southern always the name.
Kennemers, and a number of the others.
The
Well,
Williamses.
we're a little on the weak side.
They're actors.
I knew we knew her, dog.
Mary Clyde.
Yeah.
They used to live up there at Kennesaw, yeah.
Mhm.
Buddy Rackley, he's in the plumbing business, air conditioning business now. And his son stays with Aunt Angela and lives with her.
Oh, no, if you talk like that, we're gonna go back right through the same
Oh,
country. And I can
I'm
see it
sorry.
Right now.
She gets a little worn out.
Well, you'd get a bang out of Aunt Angela because she really made some good
She'll
ones.
turn you a cup. And if you don't like that, she'll turn you another.
Here's Mary Clyde.
She lives in that area, I don't know, she and her husband are separated now.
She came over there while we were there.
Yeah.
This really is hard life.
You your background and get
That's
your,
okay. That's okay.
go on, get over that.
Did you keep up with Uncle Gus or his children very much?
No, we never. We used to visit them when I was little, when we lived up in Gilman. But after Daddy and Mama went to see them down at Jasper, of course I was married and gone for a minute. I never did really get to know that. I knew Howard, and he died, and the others were all, you know, it came along after we started going down to Florida. I didn't know any of the rest of them very well. He had a girl, Hetty Faye, as we were saying, and I never did know her. Saw when she was a little tiny baby. Yeah.
Hetty Faye Hell, huh?
Hetty Faye Hell, that's the one, right. There's another bunch of Mulkeys up at the land, is that what it's called, north of
Yeah,
here? D-Line. Their uncle, maybe an older generation, of Will Washington's family, which was
Will
him
Mulkey.
older. Huh?
Yeah, Will Mulkey.
Will Mulkey, I meant.
Yeah, he was
the
Grandpa's
third
brother,
one.
wasn't
Yeah,
he?
right, yeah. The two sisters that are still alive and live up there.
He was Uncle Joe's boy. Uncle Joe and Aunt Sarah's boy. Wasn't he? Will Mulkey.
Did you get, this was Ed? Or-
Yeah.
Well, do you know any other good legends or stories?
I can't think of any offhand, but Aunt Angeline can tell you some.
Oh, she sounds like a real good
Yeah, she really
one to
tell you
look up.
some. I'll tell you something. This thing's not going, is it?
No.
I tell you something. We're talking about the Reese's.
Every good story.
I don't know
would end
about
up-
the Reese's. They're,
Keep talking, Halderman.
the Reese's have the reputation of being kind of on the rough side a little bit, didn't they?
Yeah.
I even heard of. And Aunt Angeline was telling about this Will Reese and another Reese. And one came, I think they were brothers. They were related anyway. I mean, this is just a story now. This is not official. I don't know. I remember Aunt
That's
Angeline
not
telling
the
me.
book, huh?
She knows.
No.
She would tell you. And anyhow, this one went to the other's house, and they got into some kind of an argument, and he just took this knife and just ripped him open. And Aunt Angeline just said all of his innards just came out in this tub, and he lived. They got him to the doctor and got him sewed up, and he lived. They were tough. in those
The
days.
Reese's apparently were pretty rough. from
That
what-
sounds like bugs go.
Yeah, like that session.
That lady sits down on the porch this day for recreation here in the park of the mountain. And she says she really gets high on moonshine, and I don't know. She's seeing clinks out the back of tires, you know, as they go down this road.
Oh, no.
What about
Yeah, it's a rough neighborhood.
Night with
You were mentioning earlier these sparks that you thought were from Texas. Actually, the list of 11 Sparks children indicates that only 3 of them ever, many of them just leave, like left the Texas. That's James K., Richard, Thomas, one after another that way. Effie left the Texas. You know, it ends up with very few. One of them married Eugene Foote,
Yeah,
a Methodist
I
and
remember
dry
that.
goods
Eugene
merchant
Foote.
in LJ.
He was a big shot. We thought he had a store in LJ.
Yeah.
You know, I can remember just one of Grandma's brothers.
Mhm.
This, what do you call him?
Sparks.
Sparks.
Mhm.
And he came to visit her. I can remember
James
that. He was the only one I ever-
Uncle
yeah,
Jim
he was the
came
only one
back
I
from
ever saw.
Texas. Yeah, he's the only one of people.
So since he
So,
came from Texas, I guess I thought that
Yeah.
they were originally from Texas.
Now-
They went to
now-
Texas.
There are some, I've got pictures of him, I think on some of his return visits. Now this is a picture of Charles Owen Bassey with Sylvie and Annie Mae when they were very young.
Yeah, Mama had one of those.
Do you have, this is Gus with Jane and Howard when he's first
Yeah,
born.
Howard was the only one I used to play with him. Then
Now, I may have one of Altus, no? If you had to look at those faces, what would you say? We're having real trouble with that one.
Well, that's Uncle Rome.
All right, yeah.
And Aunt
Hattie.
Hattie and Jonas.
All right. Now, try to pick out the others. That far we've come. The others people think they recognize. But I wonder if you...
I don't know any of them. Daddy had one of these pictures, but I don't.
You don't think you... Has FJ got...
He might have it. I don't know. I've seen that picture before.
Some people think this is Uncle Joe,
Probably.
and they're not sure whether these are his boys or strangers.
Let's see that. I've seen that picture. But I didn't know. We didn't live near them.
Were there... now this is... I don't know whether you remember this. This is Uncle Jonathan Mulkey. Did you ever see him? He's quite old.
You see it?
Oh, isn't that Jonathan Mulkey?
Jonathan, right.
Jonathan
Did you
Mulkey.
recognize him as Jonathan?
No, I just know it because I've heard him. I've seen that picture somewhere, probably grandma's. But I never knew them and never knew his wife.
Who would Lum Mulkey be?
Yeah,
Would
there's
you
a Lum
recognize
Mulkey.
what? That's all I know is it might be Lum Mulkey.
Well, about when was this picture taken? Any idea?
No, I don't. On these I'm showing you
Didn't Uncle Horace know these people? I think he would know
now.
them.
Yeah,
Great Alex.
Look down.
they've looked but haven't been able to identify him too well yet. They think Rome might have brought this picture home and that I better keep studying the Mulkey to see if a Mulkey emigrated to Texas if this is online.
Yeah, I've seen that picture
That's
somewhere.
okay.
That woman looks real familiar, but I don't know who it is. I wish I did know more about it.
I was trying to find a picture that
I
would
bet you
show...
and Angela can tell you who every one of these people are.
Well, maybe. Now, here is the whole family.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Let me see who's missing. Rome is missing, but Alto's in this. See, this is C.O., Gus, Alto. That's Molly,
Yeah, she is very there.
and there's Lily, and I think it looks like Molly is holding up Rome's picture to show that he's missing. And Kim and Talitha sitting down in it. I don't know the date of that one.
You know an interesting story about
Yeah.
Judy, Johnny's wife that we found out.
Which,
Was a Reese. She was a Reese of
Yeah.
the Reese family. I mean, her uncle and Aunt Molly were real gone on each other. They were lovers.
Mhm.
And when she burned to death, they said he just came and just sat on the side of her bed and cried. And he never. I don't think he ever did marry.
Who was it?
It was Judy's uncle, and then Judy and Johnny got married. They thought that was so funny that they come along 2 or 3 generations later, and they fell in love and got married. I never knew that
Those
till
are
later.
my little pencil notes I can erase. That's hard to bring out these where they fade that badly.
But you was pretty. I never have seen a picture.
Who?
Molly.
Have you ever seen her?
Oh, Daddy used to have a good picture of her, Jenny, with she had her hair up in a pompadour.
Mhm.
the door.
I've seen it. I've
You
seen
got
it.
that?
Yeah.
Is there a picture of Alto and his wife and the children when they're young?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Daddy gave it to me, and I had one made for all of
Yeah.
y'all. Let's see, that's Grandpa and Grandma, and that's Aunt Alice.
Is it darker? Then that one's going to be trouble for even a good photographer. to
Oh,
pull
no,
out
I
on
don't
something.
have one like that.
No, I meant is the one that you have in a black and white that's identifiable better?
No, I don't have one like that.
No.
The one you
One
had.
you had.
The one of
Oh,
Alto
yes.
when the children are young, 'cause that's what I was wondering. If there's
You
one
know
when the
you
family
had
is
made
young.
up for us. Have you got
Yeah,
one
but I
like
don't know where
it?
it is, Jenny. I kept it in an envelope so it wouldn't fade any further. I don't know where it is.
Well,
They can try to pull this out, but I'm afraid the want faces, like especially around that chimney, are gonna. It's very difficult.
Who is this one?
That fourth one over,
I
these
know
are my
that
guesses
guy.
as Floyd.
The copy's not near as good as the original, but Miss Booth did a good job on that.
Yeah,
Well,
a
I had a
copy.
picture I had done out.
Some of them can do this and do it well.
Stardust, he just died a couple of years ago.
He's got to draw a contrast where there's very little of it, you see,
They
and
pulled
by,
each one
yeah.
out and make it
Yeah.
separate.
fish down there on the
I'd like them as a group because that is the old place, I think, down in the
picture about that.
cove, you know.
Is it?
I believe, from what I've been told.
Jack, this old
Let me see if
wife
she-
is 86 years old this week, and she's pretty good herself. I don't know if she could really do it, but she's seen him do it so many times. They
I
ran
want to see if Ruby doesn't remember if this isn't the old Tim Mulkey house down in the cove.
Probably there with the shot turkey and something. Look at that fireplace there. See, here's
Yeah.
one, it's just another one.
It's hard to tell, isn't it? We'll have to ask her. There's another set of pictures that shows a stone wall. I don't know whether they mean it's in another part of the property, the other side of the house.
that's a rock build-up there.
Mm-hmm, right.
It looks like it stops at the roof line, though.
Do you remember Kim Mulkey's place? Was he gone from this place before you ever saw it because of the...
No, I've been there. And,
They're asking, what is this rock buildup back here? Is this another...
oh, I was just a kid. That looks like another chimney to me. But I know Aunt Minnie telling me about her kids was jealous of me. They were always saying, "Oh, Mama, why do you think so much of Ruby?" And when I was a baby, Aunt Minnie kept me here on this porch, and Grandpa had a pair of scales, and she said I'd just sit on those scales, and as long as it would wiggle, you know, I was happy. And I can remember that.
Well, let's look at this house a minute. This is with Kim and Talitha and all the children.
Mm-hmm.
That's the porch.
Yeah,
When you walked in, what was in that house? Do you remember the layout of that house?
Yeah, there was bedrooms on this side.
Towards where the picture
Now,
is.
the Horace and
See
they
bedroom?
didn't know that. They lived there. But all I can remember, there was bedrooms, and there was a hallway went all the way down through, and there's bedrooms on this side. And that
Where was the kitchen? Back here. Do you
It was
think
back.
this was the rear chimney?
Yeah, it must have been. The kitchen was in the back.
Mhm.
Now, the blacksmith shop was out here, out this way.
In front of it? you mean?
Yeah. You came off the mountain and went down like this by the spring and the blacksmith shop. You came, here's the road coming here. You come down this way by the spring and the blacksmith shop and down to this house. And there was a lily bush.
Where was a
along here.
big rock wall? Was there a big rock wall near this house?
I believe it was right between the house and the blacksmith shop.
Okay, because there's a number of pictures I've seen in front of a big, very
And
big...
there were flowers, lily
Maybe
bushes and
some
everything,
wall.
because that's where Aunt Molly used to take one of those, like that alfie I told you, I brought you one, and she would get in this lily bush and hold her, the lily like this, and the hummingbird would come and she'd catch it.
Really?
I never seen this picture before.
I
No,
heard
this
Dad
is...
tell that. I wish
Where'd you
she-
get that one?
I've got to give that back to Aunt Alice as soon as I can copy it. I just want to get it copied and drawn out. I've got to see if I can have some people
Oh,
work
that
the
picture
negative to
that,
get some
um,
contracts.
Yeah.
Well,
Now, you was talking about Grandpa Southern. There he is, and Grandma too.
Now this is Grandpa.
That's the one with the curly hair.
Oh yeah, there's that mustache you spoke of, and he's not a man of tall stature. And this is his wife, Mary Osborne. Mhm.
I thought maybe because she signs checks, you know,
I know that picture's not here. I put it away in an envelope somewhere. The original, the one that I gave them. Where's your copy?
I've got my copy over there, you know.
Yeah, if you want to. It's better than nothing. I know I couldn't find mine on the week because I never got straightened out.
It's a good picture, I think. The one we've got of Mama, Daddy, and Reuben here.
Clearly.
Reuben will.
I understand that.
It's in I got it down.
I thought maybe I had great grandpa Mulkey in here. I did that.
Upstairs on that second door that I'm getting there. Daddy, Mama, Reuben, and Will.
And then they in the picture.
No, they just two.
But she wasn't that one yet. That's before Martini fed him to the hogs.
Before it.
Oh, no. What a lie. And you know, as long as I lived, I despise that woman. Now here's Grandpa and Aunt Nance and Uncle Bob, and Uncle Bob is faded out, but that's
Yeah.
Grandpa and Uncle
Now,
Bob.
this is Uncle Bob Evans. Where? Here?
Well, he's faded out, that's why this is Grandpa and that's Aunt Nance. She was
Oh,
his
this is
sister,
Uncle Bob.
because they were brother-in-laws.
Yeah. Now, let me see who this is.
That's Grandpa.
That's Aaron again.
No, that's Grandpa Mulkey, I
Grandpa
think. Let me
Mulkey.
look.
Take a look.
Yeah, that's Grandpa Mulkey with the long beard,
I never
and
saw that one
Aunt
before. Did he
Nance,
wear-
and Aunt Nance, and that was Uncle Bob was sitting here, but you can't see him.
Oh, yeah, that's Grandpa's son.
No, Mulkey.
Well, I mean, Mulkey, I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. And
Yes,
this
Grandma.
is,
Why that child knows his own
who,
father?
who, these
That's what the
faces?
French
Who are,
say.
this, who are these faces?
Oh, that's Mulkey.
What Mulkey?
A lot of bull.
This is an early picture of,
Our family.
but without Alto in it.
I believe that's the one that married.
Yeah. Bill says this is the one he married.
That's Daddy. That's Daddy.
Is that out?
Yeah.
And there's a family picture that's
Yeah.
fairly informal. Around the, what period
Yeah.
are we talking about
That's
here?
when we lived out at
Well,
that
that age.
camp, and I was married then. There's Ed. That's Pauline.
That's me.
Did Alto have one of the first cars up in that?
Yeah.
Hey,
Let me see that picture.
Hey, Kenny's on it.
You must have. Good one. Right there.
Every time I
Yeah.
come
Mother?
from
That picture's where? A Kennesaw picture or what area
Is
picture
that
is
it?
that?
No, this is out at camp. This is
There's-
extra.
The
This
picture you're speaking of is an early picture when
This is
you're an infant, say. There's one different one than that one that she's
That's
on.
Ed.
No, I was
And
not an
me,
infant
and
then.
Ed
That
Ball,
was
Not
and
that
Pauline,
time, not the one she's
and
speaking
Jay
of
and
having
Jenny and
reproduced.
Mom and Dad.
That was when Cleo
That's Jenny.
was an infant. See, that
Oh.
was before Ed was born.
All right, that would be early
Early.
with Cleo as an infant.
And this is you.
They got little
Yeah.
ones back then.
And we
don't they?
have one here now with the whole family at about what era are we speaking of
Well,
here?
Ed Ball and Ruby are married at that point, and I must be, what, 6 or 8?
You were 3 years old when we were married.
No, but I mean in this picture, I must be 6 or 8.
Now she's got
So you can almost put a date on that
This
picture.
is good.
This is a good family picture.
I must have been 6 or 8, wouldn't you say, Bill?
How about
Yeah.
that picture laid down at that
I think
grandpa's
so.
homecoming here?
Well, I was going to see if I
That'd be
could
about
find.
28, I guess. Or
You
maybe
know what?
29.
I told you Grandpa was clean shaven, and lo and behold, he has
Gotta be the
mustache.
mustache.
I've never
Yeah.
seen him.
Let me,
no,
see,
that's
you
the
said-
other
but-
He's
grandpa.
been
I-
dead a long time.
You might have said he had white hair. That did you
Curly
not say he had a
white hair.
mustache? Did you leave that?
No, he didn't.
She didn't. Okay.
He
She said he had
shaved.
white hair and curly and wore his
Yeah.
hair long. Maybe.
I remember Grandpa Mulkey always had a beard, but I didn't think Grandpa.
Did you ever know?
He's a small man, but the way he's wearing his hair gives him a sideways
hair does.
appearance, doesn't it? The shape of his head.
Oh, yeah.
remember.
That's you and Don. Huh? Yeah, that's you and Don. Yeah.
Oh. That's an old one. It is.
Yeah.
Do you have one of those, Don? I don't have one. I don't think mine
No.
does. So somebody stole that from
Yeah.
Mama. Oh, my.
Well,
Oh,
since
my.
she's gotten into a lot of constitutions 3 or 4 times,
Yeah.
they come by and they pick up her whole photo album, you know, and she doesn't always get it back.
This is Don and Bella,
Mhm.
the oldest and youngest.
I thought I
No,
Yeah,
Rudy
Rudy.
was, yeah,
Yeah.
she's the youngest daughter, though.
Did they have a date on it?
Well, you look like you're about how old there, buddy? About 3?
It's so funny to me. I come by here and I'm getting used to it. Every time somebody say Bella, I didn't know who they were talking to.
It's been a few years, hasn't it, huh?
Yeah. What do they
Well, we
call
were
you?
talking today about you being called Pigeon.
Pigeon, that's
Everybody
right.
called me that.
Yeah, he
That's
called her
what he
that.
called me the other
Charlie,
night,
her brother,
remember?
does.
Yeah.
Where
I
is
had so
Charlie?
many, he works in Atlanta.
Commutes up to Blairsville. He's got a farm up there, too.
Commutes to Blair. Oh, well, I didn't do
Yeah,
that. That's
my gosh, he's got 3, well, don't act like it's normal, but
No,
140
that's-
miles each way is not normal.
I mean, he does.
And one of them does it, he comes in on
Just
weekends, but what is this a picture of, Ruby?
That was a homecoming at Grandpa's son.
Really?
Grandma's son.
Now, wait a minute, and when would this be? About when? Just look at someone's age to
Jenny, look at
identify.
yourself there and see how old you
Jenny?
are.
I
Yeah,
must
this
have
is
been 6 or 8, maybe. Oh, maybe 10 at that point.
This is a homecoming at Aaron's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Where was Aaron's
There's a date on
farm?
the
Would you
back.
identify it?
Is there a date on
Curry Cave.
No.
I wish
Sorry,
they
King.
could. I
Homecoming
thought
at
I had a picture.
That was
of
at Grandma's
Grandpa
Southern house.
Mulkey of Kimtown.
Aaron's, Curry King.
And I guess I put it
That's
in
when
the
they mailed
record.
things to asylum home.
I
Now,
didn't
this
have-
would be Mulkeys and Southern others, or just
That's just our family, Mama and Daddy, and the Southerns.
of the Alto Mulkey family, huh? But you can place it, you're about 6 years old.
Is this Jay?
Well, wait a minute, let me see about the ages now.
Y'all
Let's
can
take a
crowd through
look.
this if you want to. The things
Pick
come
somebody
apart.
out that you
All right,
know.
that's Jay,
Well,
and
see
he,
what-
Jay.
and here I am. No, wait a minute, here I am.
Yeah.
I must have
Jay
been
there.
8 or 10.
1930, huh?
I'd say it could, about that would be close.
Now, this is Grandma.
Yeah, Grandma's Southern.
They're the two oldest, huh?
And Grandpa's Southern, yeah. And there's Daddy, and there's Pauline and Ruby.
Mhm.
And that looks like me, Clyde, and they Nancy.
Is this the Southern house, as you remember?
Mm-hmm.
A high porch?
That's Grandma's.
I wish I'd known she was living there.
And Angeline, you remember Aunt Angeline? This is the first I've had her. Go see her here.
Well, I knew Mary Clyde real well.
See her.
Yeah, well,
She's
there's another one I don't know anything about. Somebody told me to go see in Dahlonega. I just picked up it. I don't know what he'll know is.
Jay made us swear to come back by there,
Joe.
so we're hoping to. I'd like
I'm not going to be able to do it this trip. Drowning.
Well, Angeline is clear as a bell unless she's sick.
Do you remember that girl?
You have her
I remember.
phone number? Anyone here have any phone number on her?
Must have it.
Does she live with anyone?
Yeah.
She lived by herself in her own house in
This
this
was Buddy's
But it-
son.
The boy stays with her, but it's her house.
Her name, Angeline Rack.
Rackley.
And wait a minute, here's Daddy. No, Daddy was over
Oh,
here.
that's
Wait a minute,
okay.
here's Daddy. And picture that car. Here's Daddy. I understand. You and Ruby. Isn't that Mary Clyde?
That's Grandpa Southern in there.
Yeah, and Grandma's son.
Grandpa Southern and
Aunt
Grandpa.
Isla and Uncle Les.
I want to see how I do on these
Isn't
difficult
this,
ones, and then I
and Angie right
can,
here.
it'll be easy to reproduce in the black and
Next
white.
time, next
It's
girl.
already a good black and white.
There's Uncle Les.
Or you get, if you can pull one of those.
Well, that's gonna be a difficult one, that, shit, that.
This one's not difficult, it's just the small size of it, but it won't be difficult.
They can blow those up, can't you?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
question is,
But they're not so faded out.
how much quality you want to show, like the quality of life of the siding, you know, whether you shouldn't not try to shape it in any way, just leave it. Remember when they used to do that? They had these decorated borders on everything.
Is that Grandpa?
Times changed, don't
Now
they?
they're
Yeah.
finishing them all the way.
Yeah, well, I can remember
Yeah.
buying those little black corners by the
Yeah.
hundreds and gluing them on.
Which one of the Mulkeys was it?
Stella, look at
Is that the
this.
same as this?
Two women are
Which
talking.
Is that the same
And one of them said, did you know when I was born,
These
said,
are all
you put me down
the
the
children
coffin
now.
box, put the lid down on me. The other says, well, did you live? They said I did and done well.
as? Back when they had, where you had boys,
Let's see if we can find a better picture of the house.
Who did you find in Dahlonega? I don't know. Right.
Oh, it's a Mulkey.
Yeah,
I think, no, it's a West.
Grandpa and
That's the
son.
reason.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't know.
It's,
Here's who she's looking for.
Yeah, that,
yeah,
That's
hold
that
it.
Grandpa.
that's
That's-
your great
That's the,
grandfather.
That's James,
preacher.
Grandpa's
James C.
Daddy.
Yeah, that's
Isn't that on
James
the back
C.
of that,
I believe
Looks
that's
like
James.
Abraham Lincoln.
It does, but I believe it's James C., who's the son of Philip. You ought to see the court records. Well, I don't want to take him out. He should be coming out. Yeah,
Not
that
easy.
should come out
Stuff
easy.
you never
Now, he
blew.
isn't marked.
No, it's just-
Someone reproduced, that's a blow-up probably originally, and a reproduction in an earlier period. You know, Horace has one of these, somebody has done a lot of these, of the same
I
picture.
think HS did it.
That's all.
Probably.
Yeah,
I
HS,
did.
yeah.
One in the United States I know of.
Well, if I can get Ruby to put a number of these in one place safely, I don't want to impose it all now, but if these come out, so I get them done, reproduced and safely, I might see what can be done.
Leave his name on there. You're losing this sheet here.
You want me to
Unless she
put on the
knows-
back of it?
Unless she knows who he is.
That's not a name.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
You want to put it in? Or put it,
You wanna
all right,
keep it
keep those,
separate?
yeah.
Sally.
So, another brother of mine. Bringing back memories, isn't it?
Yes, their old nigger woman who used to work for him for years and years and years. This is later.
That was down around Smyrna.
This
No,
was in
out
the,
there, how's the Bellevue camp?
Now, was this
That was, what was her name?
That's Grandpa
Sally.
Mulkey, isn't it?
Kim, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's Kim.
Yeah.
I thought that's, so it's Stuart Limmer, isn't it? Limmer, and who's the, it's y'all,
Is
isn't it?
this Bell?
That's one of them's Elsie, isn't it? Is
What
this
is it?
Elsie?
Oh, wow.
Ruby know that.
Who did you say these were?
This is
Ruby
Elsie.
that ball.
This is
Ruby
Elsie.
that ball. How about that?
Elsie and Limmer's Limmer.
Really?
Look how little she is.
Where's Elsie?
What'd you do to
I thought
Ruby?
that was, this is
Ed?
Elsie.
Huh?
What kind of vitamins did you feed Ruby? How do you explain that?
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
Yeah.
How little she is.
Marrying a child bride of midget size and then,
You better not finish that sentence.
how, how'd you achieve all that?
You'd have put a little trick in, wouldn't you?
Oh, wait a minute.
No,
Who is this?
she's still very
Uncle Floyd's
attractive.
boy, isn't it?
That's that one that died, what's his name?
Sorry.
No, Uncle Floyd's boy.
James.
Coy.
Oh, Coy, that's
Is that
Uncle
Coy?
Floyd's Coy,
That's
yeah.
Coy when he's going to Berry School.
That's right.
Coy went to Berry
Here's
School, huh?
Grandpa Southern, Grandma Southern.
That's a
and
good
his
plan.
Mama and Uncle Les.
Who else went to Berry School while you're throwing that
Good
around?
plan.
Maybe I'll add that to this.
Don's on, I'm not.
Don and Elsie.
Elsie, that's right.
Did Coy go? Did he start? What? I'm trying to remember what I heard about Coy.
That was up
I
there.
really don't know that.
That's Uncle Les, and he said.
But Reuben might know.
That's St. Angeline and Grandma and Grandpa Southern.
That one's good and clear,
Let
man.
me see if they better than that other group picture.
Grandpa Southern and
Yeah.
Grandma Southern.
Yes.
That's St.
And
Angie.
Angeline, that's
Yeah.
one younger
I
one.
wanna
This
see.
is my mama, and this is Uncle Les, oldest boy, oldest Southern boy.
Don, last Uncle you was Steve.
Uncle Les
Leslie.
Southern. Leslie Southern was whose boy?
Aaron, he's mama's brother.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Southern's boy.
That's-
There's a grandpa and grandma.
Now
That
this
is
is Uncle
good.
Les right here, Pete.
I wonder who he's got there.
I don't know which one that is. Well, who is this? I don't think that is.
Oh, here's where they made pictures with quit. That's Ed Baldwin.
Mm.
That's Aunt
That's
Aunt
Aunt
Anne's
Anne's.
children. That's her children. I was looking at this thing, Grandma Southern, and that's Ed Baldwin's mother. Look at Grandpa Mulkey there holding out.
That's
like the
HS.
or-
And
And
Is that
Grandma,
HS?
Grandma Mulkey.
look how little she was.
Yeah.
That's
Is
all
that, I
right.
never
remember
saw
she's
that. Are you
so
sure
little.
that's,
That's
Yeah.
Grandma Mulkey
Yeah.
and Grandma Mulkey. And that's one of the Aunt Alice's children. I don't
That's
know if
HS, I
that's
bet.
And that's
Yeah.
Ed
that's an
Baldwin.
interesting picture, huh? Which shows their sizes more relatively than those sitting down ones.
Look how much taller
Mhm.
Grandma.
Yeah, no,
You
I
done have
remember
them
this being
attached
there.
there.
Do you recognize some of them, Jim Dale?
No?
Oh, yeah, I recognize a lot of them.
Look how they used to spread a quilt for the background.
Ernie's in there somewhere, just swinging a reel.
I still understand.
Staying there.
This is the camp, the house at the camp. Yeah. And you know, I thought it was such a big house and it's so little now when you
Yeah,
back it.
no, that's the same. I used to think Uncle Horace was such a
That's
big
really
house.
Ed Ball, long time ago. That's it.
Yeah, mom and dad. Oh, and this is Grandma's house from the front. We were looking at the side of it.
Oh, yeah, right.
Look at the hanging baskets.
That is an interesting picture.
That's a real good one. No, you never did see this.
I was up in the mountains one time.
Did was Grandma living then?
That's good picture, Dad.
Yeah, it is good. That's
Isn't it funny how some of them
I
say
can't remember
out?
whether
Yeah,
she
they
was
had
or not.
some
Yeah, I think she
nice
was, Jenny.
Look at the hanging baskets, Bill. This is interesting, I think.
Let's see.
Who's that in the picture, then, on the board?
I don't know.
Get that
Where's that spy
magnifier.
guy?
Yeah, that's spy.
Didn't have that spy guy.
Let me just tell you, Ruby, and you correct the version of what you remember. That Cleo, who burned to death as a child, caught herself on fire while putting rich pine on the fireplace to boil starch. Is that what was going on? Or?
Well, I don't know. I guess maybe what happened. We were just kids, and let's see now, Cleo, Pauline. No, wait a minute. Who was the baby?
Me, I was the baby.
Aye.
And Daddy had gone. He had had a dream about
Who had had
fire.
a dream?
Daddy had. And you know about starting fire with kerosene?
Yeah.
And he went and got this pine knots, you know, and split it up for kindling, so we thought it wouldn't be as dangerous. And Mama had made us, it was wintertime coming on, and she had made us some outing gowns. And Mama went to the spring to get water, and I was, Pauline was a little baby, and she was awful sick when she was little. She had pneumonia, and we almost lost her. And somebody had to take care of her all the time to keep her from crying. And Mama she told me to make the fire, I told Cleo to make the beds. And Cleo learned to make the fire. And I said, no, Mom said for me to make the fire, and you so-and-so, you know, kids, arguing. And anyhow, she didn't want to do it, so I let her go ahead, and she was down there, and she, you know, fanning this, and when that stuff got hot, that pitch, it just, like an explosion. And it caught that gown on fire. Here I stood clutching Pauline and didn't have brains enough to grab a blanket or something and roll her in it.
Well, I don't see how anybody could have figured out what to do with something.
Burned your boat up.
That's right. Do you know, you mentioned in connection with Oliver Southern, did I ask you about a Mary Polly Reese? Polly.
I've
Somebody
heard
else
Grandma
had.
and them talk about Polly Reese. You know the way they used to do us kids when we were that age, anything of any interest, you were back here trying to hear it, but you didn't always. And
But
just
you
had the
heard
names.
talk like that.
Yeah.
One of the people said she was dried up and wrinkled. Is that one
That
of the
must have
things
been
you
the
talked
one.
Huh?
That must have been the one.
Okay. That was one of the things they were talking about. You could hardly have known her. If I found her gravestone, she was born in 1820 and died in 1909. She was long-lived,
Well, I would
but
just have been 3 years old.
that's what I mean, so...
I just heard Grandma and them talk about it.
Mhm.
Polly Reese is familiar to me. I've heard them talk about it.
There was two, but I can't remember her name. Do you know?
It's the same, they'll put the names on the pictures.
We should do it. Put the names on
Many
it.
days.
Start going right now.
Well, you ought to do that. You think if you don't do it to yourself now, you can't know you're laughing about old pictures. It'll all be that way.
And wait a minute, here's there's that same picture we saw.
Did any Reeses marry into your family, Ruby?
And I don't believe so, because they never liked, the Reeses were Republicans.
That's the
Remember Mary?
Were they?
Well, she was a Bearden.
And who is this?
I don't think any of the Mulkeys would have married a Reese.
Look at that fence. Now that was typical, wasn't it?
Wow, that was
I've seen a
something
million of those.
Wow.
Though Ed's boy did marry a Hart Reese.
You're being older than Jan when she
John.
was a baby.
Oh, really?
You know that picture of that oldest Mulkey you saw there?
Right. I don't think
Yeah,
I see him.
I believe
That's one I was looking for. That's
Yeah,
Grandpa.
I believe
He was
that's...
a preacher and a
Yeah, that's
doctor.
Reverend J.C. Mulkey,
Yeah.
a botanical doctor. Uncle Jimmy was called, and born in 1807, lived
You
1878.
know, I haven't seen him dead.
Yeah, that's one I was trying to find. Why'd you put the name on there? Who'd he say?
J.C. You want me to pencil it on there?
Yeah, please.
Do you know any more than J.C.?
Yeah, Reverend.
John
James C.
C. I think Johnny was named for
Medical doctor, he wouldn't be a minister.
Yerb.
He was well,
He was a preacher and a doctor. I heard
yeah,
he killed
I
that.
think they meant that they sort of served an apprenticeship rather than went to school or some of those days.
Yeah, look at the resemblance to
Now,
Mama.
he appears in the court records of Gilmer County a great deal. He was around sure and very active.
Arrested or?
No troubles. Serving on juries, you know,
Yeah.
various things that where I spent a lot of time in the courthouse I could find.
I don't think she ever raised.
I couldn't get back to his father. Everybody said his father was Philip, and if I could go that far, I could get back further, but I set it out on Philip.
That's Uncle Horace.
Philip didn't show up in anything, even back to 1830, you know. He
Yeah.
either stayed off the juries or he didn't exist.
How about property, real estate?
I looked for deeds, a lot of multi-deeds, this guy was in them, but no Philip. I'm gonna have to go, I'm doing the southern Georgia bunch now, and I'm going to start on the ones that went from North Carolina and Kentucky and see if they lost a brother. And they, maybe 5 of them start, and then somebody mentioned, maybe a Philip straight off. That'd be the best three to have. Another thing Lily swears is that there was a gravestone in Ebenezer when she was younger with Philip's birthday in the 1700s and his death date. But we turned over Ebenezer, and of course the kids can knock over gravestones and smash them.
I don't believe you can find that grave of Golden Mose either. I used to know where it was.
No, I don't see any record of her knowing it.
Yeah.
Then there were unmarked graves.
Graves
Huh?
on there.
What?
Who has the tallest grave?
Oh, there's a very prominent one. Who is that?
Who's the tallest in the whole?
There's a prominent gravestone. I have it somewhere.
Most of where for my only good stocking.
Well, I've got the record of it, but I'm not remembering. Somebody has a very prominent gravestone. Where's my Ebenezer graveyard? I got page 1 of it. There it is.
Oh,
Well, we kept you folks up late enough, fooling with
I
Ebenezer
wish I could have found
graveyard.
that picture for you because it's a good picture on the day.
Well, let me see what I can do. Pull out some of these real old ones, and if I can get somebody that can do a good job of doing so, I can make others of it.
here's a picture of Ruby in the bathing suit. She's got a hole in the knee.
Hold it.
Yeah, we're wearing
That's
bikinis.
I talk about the law.
Look at the bathing suit.
I said, I talk about the legs of the bathing suit.
Oh, dear.
Oh, yeah, that little old boy that lived in
You know their address? Oh.
Who? No, I didn't even know where they lived.
I was pregnant with 3.
Well, now,
I
this
didn't
lady-
know.
This lady who lives next door to us, he was German. And he was a photographer all his life until he died. And she worked with him in this photo shop. So he's deceased, but she's 86, but she might know somebody who would be
Right.
able to.
Well, what I'm going to try first is the college has a good audio-visual lab, and see if, without hurting it, if they can draw it out. If they can, I may need some older, just self-made, skilled people,
Well, this is what he was.
Della, did you see that picture in Alice has got a grandma, that Kenny?
Yes.
I had that made at Bird Eyes, and that was made from an old
Now, we
made
couldn't
today.
find that.
Yeah.
Well, ain't
Nowhere.
Alice has got it.
No, and Alice C., she brought out everything.
I gave it back to her.
Yes,
Oh,
she did. She
yeah.
said it was in there, but
Daddy said he didn't have it. He had forgotten. He said he didn't have it. And I said, "Ain't else I know I gave it back to Daddy." And I said, "Maybe it's in here." And I looked in the envelope that the picture's in, and there it was. And I gave it to him. And I was up there one time. I didn't say nothing to Daddy about it. Because he'd already told me he didn't have it. And I didn't want to embarrass him. But it sure came out good.
Yeah.
It came out real good. That was just
it
so
did.
pretty.
It's
Down
beautiful,
there.
isn't it? The
Yeah.
long hair.
Daddy loved that picture. He'd just take it and kiss it.
Mhm.
When was that picture?
I gave it to Aunt Alice for her 50th wedding anniversary.
Oh, that
What did you read when you were up till the time you were 11?
Well, sir, I didn't have too much reading material. I remember well that Aunt Alice gave me a subscription to Comfort magazine. You never heard of that. It was an old timer.
Southern
It had-
Comfort.
Yeah, I heard it.
He knows about Southern Comfort.
Yeah.
But
And
this was-
Lydia,
it
this
was-
was a cousin to Lydia Pinkham, something
No,
or
this
other,
was
wasn't
really
it?
a good magazine, you know, that you'd give.
Yeah.
And it had all fancy work, and it had ran a little serial story in it, a very mighty slow story, and it was a good magazine. It wasn't a pulp wood. It was a good little old magazine. I had that. I enjoyed that. And then, of course, we had the song book. And Daddy got, Daddy got one of his trips to Atlanta. He borrowed a book. Do you remember that book? It's about this thick and about this big, Story of the Bible. Now that really laid it on the line where you could understand it when you were a child.
And you read that?
I read that through.
How old were you when you read that?
I must have been, we left there at 11, when I was 11, I guess it must have got on about 9, 10 or something like that. And I never did know what went with that book. I wish I could find it. I looked up there at Jay and it's not there. It must have got lost when they moved in. That was a good
What was the
book.
closest friendship you had in Gilmer County that was broken up by your move?
Well, Eva Swan, that was my teacher's younger sister. And Della Reese, she was one of my... Now, there's a Reese. Now, they were nice Reese.
They were nicer Reese's.
They were Bill Reese's, and Bill Reese and his...
Her boyfriend, she had that back in them.
Tell me
I
about your
didn't have
boyfriend
any. I
at age
didn't have
11.
any. And let's see, Jetty and Jenny West. Zinny West. Jetty
Zinny
West and
West.
Zinny West. They were my
What was the
girlfriends.
first one besides Zinny?
Jetty, Jettie, what her name, the shooting
Who were they the daughter of?
What was it, West, so I know. I didn't know their parents. They were my, and then Annie Mae and Aunt, that they went to school where I did. Aunt Letty's children never went to school where I did.
Uh-huh.
I guess they keep going back up.
Yeah, they keep in touch with all those people up there.
She getting ready to retire? Or Auntie?
I don't think so. We saw her when we were up home last time, and she seemed very active
Good.
in her work. She had been on a trip to the Holy Land. She's been to Europe. She travels. So. She's a very interesting person. You've met her, haven't you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She's a cousin. I'm going to put up my junk now.
Montans, Southerns, Oregon, Nickens, and I don't know, the whole Gilmer County. Yeah. He can think of more than I ever knew. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. How are you? I remember it. He was.
Uncle Will's family now.
Yeah, well, Uncle Will.
Yeah, I got you.
He was odd one of the family. He always thought he knew more than they were coming. Better off. Yeah, I had a pretty good job, you know. I told Uncle Uncle Johnson one day, you and the rest of my brothers just fooled around and don't around me know nothing.
You go ahead.
He said, I've already got more than all of my brothers ever knew. And Uncle Walter said, yes, and I bet by gosh you've got a lot of things that wasn't fit for us things. he was,
Yeah.
kind of felt like he's up in the world. You
Oh,
ever
yeah,
seen
yeah.
people like that?
Well, before
he
I-
never visited that
Yeah.
much. He just, things straight nuts, you know,
Sure.
I can get it.
And working with you, you have a remarkable faculty for remembering things. But what I think helps refresh you occasionally is if I can share with you
Yeah, yeah. so
someone
things-
else
think
who's in
something
an
else,
immediate
some-
family.
yeah.
Like I just
Well,
took
no.
you back to the Southern family and we
Yeah.
got them backed up. Talking about the Southerns, would some of the Southerns, like the Evanses, have fought with the Union Army or not? What kind of
I don't know.
group were they? Were they like Republican more
I
than the
believe-
Mulkeys were?
I believe
Yeah.
old man Warren Southern
Mm-hmm.
was, I believe he was a Republican. I believe it was.
They may have been Republicans. Huh?
I believe so.
Mhm.
And so was Granddaddy Southern.
You mean by Granddaddy Southern Aaron or?
No, Oliver Southern.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Oh, now on your side. Yeah, right.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
it's
Now
still a
Oliver.
Southern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. So that they were closer, like the Evanses, to being likely Republicans, and
Uh-huh,
perhaps
yeah.
they fought in the Union Army. You wouldn't know at that age.
No, I don't know. I don't remember hearing. I learned a lot from my daddy, and I forgot a lot that he's told me about the
Sure. Okay.
Army. But I guess Don could tell you that.
And we can pick it up from records too. There's records of the
yeah.
that should show. The only brothers you remember, sons of Warren Southern, are Aaron and Mike.
Aaron
And you
and
don't
Mike,
remember any daughters, do
That
you?
would, yes, he had a. Let me see now. I can't think of their names, and I've heard Mary talk about them. Let's see. There's Violet. Was one of the girls. I don't believe she was the oldest one,
All right.
and she married John Bearden.
Okay.
And then let me see if I can think of the other girl's name.
Mm-hmm. Now, Aaron Southern married Jane Osborne,
Uh-huh.
and these Osbornes generally you would think of as people of a different quality. Of
Yes, their ways. They had different ways, you know.
Were
They were good people. Very good.
Intelligent people?
Yeah.
I have some in West Palm Beach. I made some notes from Ruby and them, in which she thought that Granny Southern, that would be Warren's wife,
Or, no,
no, Aaron's
Aaron's
wife,
wife.
was an Osborne,
Yeah.
whom she thinks were of English descent,
Well, I
and
think
they
so.
ran the general store at Dyke. Would you remember?
That was, now that was, let me see. Bly Osborne and
What Osborne?
Jane Bly Osborne, and Jane Southern,
Mhm.
Aaron Southern's wife,
Mhm.
were, let me see now, were they brothers and sisters? Yeah, they were brothers and sisters.
Well, who was Jane Osborne's father then?
Jane Osborne?
Mhm.
I don't remember.
Did you say Bly, B-L-Y?
Yeah, it was either John or George, and I don't remember. I tried to,
Okay.
I told Ruby, I wrote Ruby about it. She said she never knew anything about her
Okay.
mother's people.
Right.
And
Now,
I wrote her something about it. Just
she also said this, but it could be, you may never have heard of it. She
uh-huh.
thought that Warren married a Williams, but she isn't sure, and that her granny, that the Aaron's
Wow.
mother, brought the only black who was ever buried in Ebenezer, an Uncle Mose, with her from South Carolina when she married him. Do you ever remember that?
She did a what
She
now?
brought a black man. I take it was slavery times. And she brought a black man from South Carolina with her.
And buried him.
No, it brought her to work for him.
Oh,
He was
oh.
called Uncle Mose, and he was
Uh-huh.
the only black ever buried in Ebenezer.
Well,
Did you ever
he's the
hear of anything like that?
First nigger I ever saw, Nigger Mose.
You remember that?
Yeah.
In whose house?
Well, I met him in the road when they were going to school, I guess.
But you remember, you told me you really never saw black people until you went into J later.
I
but
guess that's just where it slipped my mind.
All right,
That
all
was
right.
just a very small
Was
one.
he part of this southern household?
Well,
one you-
I
the man
don't
we're
know. I
speaking
don't
of?
remember back that far, but I remember that everybody called him Old Nigger Mose. Old Nigger Mose. Mother would scare
What
the
would he
children.
do? Would he work?
Just work on the farm,
Okay.
be a farmer.
There were already ways they would scare children
Oh,
and
yeah.
joke about that.
There's just one
Okay.
around. They didn't live out in the country. I never saw one until I was grown, except that one. And
What was he doing when you saw him? Was he helping
well,
work
he was
somewhere?
coming out from where he worked. He worked for Joe West. Lived on the hill from the schoolhouse where I went to school.
What school are we speaking of now?
Kennemer School, where
Okay.
I got my doors education.
Mhm.
And he was doing some work, and he'd go about if anybody needed him to work. But, I believe
He was free then,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah,
Sure.
he was free.
Okay, let me see. You wouldn't know if he was buried in Ebenezer or not.
No,
as
I
she
don't
thought.
remember.
She didn't
Don't
think there was a
remember.
stone, but she thought he was buried there. She heard that.
Uh-huh.
Now, there's no question you're right. Mary Jane had a brother Leslie, because that much she got, but you know more about it than she does. Do you know which
Not Leslie. Where'd they get that Leslie?
a brother to Mary Louisa Southern?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now,
Yeah.
do you know who Carrie Leola married?
She married Pink West.
Oh, hold everything. Called Pinkney?
Yeah, that was his name, but they called him
Pink,
Pink.
Pink
Pink, yeah.
West?
Pink West.
All
I
right.
guess Pinkney was his name.
He was not, that was like a Goss name too, they named some of theirs Pinkney.
Uh-huh.
Then Mary Louisa married Alto. Who did
Uh-huh.
Hattie marry?
Price Bearden.
Bearden, okay.
Uh-huh. They were related to some of the Beardens and some of the wasn't. She
All
married-
right, Leslie married? You remember?
Leslie married, now let me think. Married a Holt.
Hope?
Holt. H-O-L-T.
All right.
And I forget her name. See, I wasn't living around
Right.
there when all these people, but
Right.
one
But
that I
they-
knew got married,
Right.
and I didn't remember the name. And let me,
Then Angeline married a Rackley, R-A-C-K-L-E-Y.
Hill Rackley.
What initials?
Hill.
Hill Rackley.
Hill Rackley. All I ever
All right,
heard.
who did Jim marry?
Jim. I don't believe Jim ever married.
Okay.
Now there's one of them married,
How about Euless?
one of them married Violet Garrison, I believe.
Either Jim or Euless married
Yeah, either one or the other. I'm not. There's one that never did marry.
Violet Bearden. And Nandy, who did she marry?
She married Angus Loman.
Angus,
Angus Loman. L-O-W-M-A-N.
L-O-W-M-A-N. Okay. Now, we've taken care of a big section of
They-
another family, the Southern family.
yeah.
Let me jump now, if I can, to another whole family we skipped.
Which one was
Because
that?
we've mentioned Joe West at Licklog because of his son Ben.
Uh-huh.
And put Joe, now that we know Ben's about 78 and lives down at Dahlonega. How
And I
about,
know he's the same Ben.
right,
Of course, he's born at Licklaw.
and he's the son of Joe. Now,
Yeah.
who is Joe? Let's get his relationship. Start with Joseph West. Joe is a brother to who?
I don't remember him ever hearing of him having a brother. I don't know if he was Ben. He's the son of
Ben
Ben
is
West.
the son of Joe.
Joe is the son of Ben, and then Ben is the son of Joe.
Oh, yeah, let me get, I got
Joe-
you. Yeah, I got you. I want to get it straight. Now, I'll be with you. I'm with you. I'm following you. Ben is 74 and is down here at Dahlonega, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's 78, I mean. Dahlonega. His father is Joe, right?
Uh-huh.
West of Licklog.
Yeah.
1 mile from where you were at Cartacay?
Ebenezer Church.
1 mile from Ebenezer. Okay.
Yeah, they had
What direction is Licklog from Ebenezer?
well, it's right straight on the road. Where
Okay.
We went to Ebenezer.
All right.
That's
Now,
what we
who did
right
Joe
on.
West at Licklog marry?
He married Georgia Bearden.
Georgia Beard.
Yeah, the Beardens and West.
All right. Now, Ben is 78. Joe is his father.
Uh-huh.
Who are Joe's brothers before we go back to
I never heard of having any
All
brothers.
right. But he had a father named Ben,
Yeah, his father was named Ben.
and you do know that Ben had brothers that were in a line with James West.
Yeah, they were all the same family.
Now,
I think
were they actually brothers of James West at the top of, like
Oh.
J.O. West's grandfather?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sam and John.
Yeah. Who was the oldest? What order are those West brothers?
Well, I guess Sam, but I just
All right,
don't
Sam.
really know.
Jonathan, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got him on a gravestone in Ebenezer. Jonathan,
Uh-huh.
he uses the initials like JFL or something.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
JFM, I believe.
JFM, you're right, yeah, Jonathan F. Okay.
That's all I know.
Jonathan F. Sam, Jonathan F.
And Sam, I never did get his initials.
All right, then there was another one that
Sam
preached. You heard preach.
Sam, well, that's Jimmy.
Was he next in order?
Bill, I
Bill was next
believe.
in order.
Bill was coming in there somewhere,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
And then Jimmy,
Yeah,
and then Ben. This Ben was
Yeah.
part of that brothers.
the
1, 2, 3,
the older
4.
one. Have you got one? Ben?
Sam, I have as the oldest or not?
That's Sam.
Sam, Jonathan, Bill,
Bill, and
Jimmy.
Ben.
Oh, Ben comes
Jim.
before Jimmy.
Well, I can't remember.
All
I
right.
don't know exactly.
Were there any daughters?
Not that I knew everything.
And do you know who the father of this Ben and Sam and Jonathan and Bill and Jimmy was?
No, I don't know. They see those West, Sam and John and Jimmy. They're all preachers, and they were all old people. Back as far back
And
as
I have a real question for you in this chart, which is that by the chart we've created to work with in our years of work, I know I don't expect you to read it, but I want to show it to you because you used to study it with me and we got it right. It shows the following, and going back up from J.O. West to Benjamin Nathaniel and Nathaniel Benjamin
Uh-huh.
West, and his father was James M. West.
Uh-huh.
Then you did think that his father was Samuel West. Now, is that, at one point you told me that.
Well, yes, I seem like I remember hearing something said about it, but I never
All
knew
right.
anything.
Because the oldest brother was Sam, too.
Yeah.
his father.
Well, these West, they come there. After, probably they're come with their parents, but I couldn't remember. But
Do you know where they
okay.
came from, Dawson, or?
No, they come from. They didn't come from Dawson. I don't know what seemed to me like I have heard Oliver say that they come from Habersham County to Gilmer,
All right.
and I don't know where they come from that.
Okay, now I have some questions. Which of them were preachers? Sam,
Sam,
Jonathan,
Jonathan,
Bill,
Bill,
Jimmy?
Jimmy.
How about Ben?
I don't remember ever hearing him spoken of as a preacher.
Which one have you heard preach?
All of them.
Okay. Were they real fire-breathing preachers?
Oh, yeah.
Mule-riding,
Yeah.
fire-breathing preachers?
Yeah. Well, I usually walk.
Huh?
Usually walk to church. They lived right close
Yeah,
to Ebenezer
right.
Church. I don't remember ever seeing one.
They were the mainstays, some of them, of the Ebenezer Church.
Uh-huh. I don't remember ever seeing any of them in another church.
How old would Jimmy have been when you remember it, compared to your age?
Oh, Lord, he was way up from 60.
And you'd have been a child, huh?
Yeah, I was about 7 or 8 years old last time I
Jimmy was a
seen him.
fire-breathing.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear Bill preach?
No one ever did hear him.
How they were very often in school.
Oh, yeah.
They did?
Yeah, I went to school with him.
With which ones did you go to school?
FN, Western, FN, Arthur.
All three.
Arthur was just the beginning in school.
All right, and then who
4 or
came
5
after
years.
Arthur?
Arthur. Well, it's, Elmer.
Ella?
Emma,
Emma?
and Ben.
5 children in all, or were there more?
Let's see, Western and Effie, and Arthur, Miller, Ben, yeah.
What
5.
school did you go to with all of
The
them?
Kennemer School.
Kennemer.
The only school I ever went to in my life.
Okay.
Little one room, log
Did
building.
Ben was too young, you didn't go to school with
No,
him?
he was born that they
How
left.
about Emma?
They moved off. She didn't need. They were both born
Just
that
the
they
first
moved off
3,
from that,
right, okay.
close to that school.
I got you.
They moved to Littlong.
What did Joe West look like, if you remember him?
Well, he was a little, very small little man.
He was a farmer, I take it.
Yeah, he's a farmer.
Who did Western Monroe marry, do you know?
Western Monroe. He married, I believe it was Tamar Evans.
Tamar.
I believe her name was.
Was she Bob Evans' kin?
No, she belonged to another bunch of Evanses.
All right. Effie Talitha, did she marry?
She married Bob Evans, one of my cousins. Uncle Bob Evans' son.
This was Bob Evans' son?
Yeah, they called
Was
him Little Bob.
Okay, Little Bob. Gotcha. All right. How about Arthur Eugene?
Arthur married Rosalie Reese.
All right, she was one of the famous Reeses. You don't know who Emma had been married?
Emma married Pearl, wait a minute, Pearl Parker.
Was Pearl a man?
Yeah. You know she didn't marry
I know. I got to be sure when you say Shirley is a man or Pearl. Pearl Parker, okay. And Ben?
Ben married, who'd you tell me he married? Charlie Goss's granddaughter.
Yeah, right, a Goss.
Yeah.
But I guess she was a Goss, okay.
Yeah.
I said this man told me it was his older sister that he married, and he was a Goss, okay? Robert Hope Goss.
Uh-huh. Robert Hope Goss.
All right, now they had 5 children, and the last 2 were born after they left Gilmer County.
Yeah. And I don't know too much about them. I knew them. I saw them a lot at church
Now-
around.
Can you follow any of the other Uncle Jimmy's family down at all? Do you know it at all?
Didn't I tell
Jimmy
you
West?
about it one time?
I don't, here's what we did. We only went back behind J.O. West,
Uh-huh.
to N.B. West, to James West. And we did, Jimmy West is James West, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We did that family, so the ones we ought to do is probably Jonathan, if you know them.
Well, I know them, but I don't know as much about them as I do some of the others because there's some of theirs.
How about Bill? You know more about Bill?
No, I don't know Bill's. I don't know anything
Let's
about
try
Bill.
Jonathan's
I
family
knew
then.
Bill when I
Who
saw
did
him.
Jonathan? You don't know who he married?
Yeah, he married Spriggs.
All right. And what were his children?
I've got a little team on them. I don't know. Oldest was John.
What?
John
All right.
and now you want John. I was naming the boys.
That's all right. Go ahead.
Well, I'll name the boys.
Yeah, you go ahead. Good.
Name them in line.
Yeah,
and
any way you like. We'll start.
There's John and Verge.
Verge.
Virgil, yeah.
Mhm. All right.
And Jim and Sam. They were twins.
Yeah.
Jim and Sam and Grover
Yeah.
and Roscoe.
All right.
That were the girls. Boys.
Yeah. Now, who was the oldest girl? Did she come before John?
Yeah, she was older than John. It was Nanny.
All right. Nanny was the oldest. All right.
And Dean.
Did Dean was a girl?
Yeah.
Did she come after Virgil or
No, she come.
before John?
No, she was.
I think,
after the twins?
Nanny and Dean were the oldest ones, I don't.
Nanny and Dean.
Yeah,
D-
then
D-
John,
What?
then John. That's
Okay.
Nanny and Dean
Dean
were the
would be
oldest
like
girls.
D-E.
A.M.
Okay, the girl, okay. All right, they were, then John,
Yeah.
then Virgil.
And Virgil, and then,
Any more girls
yeah, there's,
ahead.
Dean,
before the
Then-
twins?
Minda,
Was Linda before
I
the
was
twins
thinking-
or after?
Linda was for, oh, yeah, she was after, I believe,
All right, Linda.
and, Magnolia,
That was before Grover or not?
that was, yeah,
All right,
and, then Grover and Roscoe,
yeah.
and Oma,
Oma, O-M-A.
yeah. That was
Now,
it.
do you know who any of them married?
Well, John married, no, Nanny married, Wilson Reese,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and Dean wasn't married the last I knew of her, but I think she finally married sometime, but they left,
all right.
she left with somebody and left Gilmer County. And she finally married, and Linda married, Lester Anderson,
All right.
and Mag married Joe Anderson, a doctor.
Brothers?
Doctor,
Was he an M.D.?
yeah,
All right. Uh-huh.
and,
Was he a local? He was one of those Andersons locally?
yeah, yes, she lived around in Dawson or back up in that section somewhere.
Yeah.
I didn't know too many people back
Some of
then.
the Andersons were from Dawson, weren't they?
Yeah,
Okay.
Well,
How about Oma? Who did she marry?
she didn't marry. She was kind of a mental retarded.
Retarded? Okay.
And,
What about the boys like John?
well, John married Maggie Pence, I believe.
What name? P-E-N-C-E?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I believe it so.
Virgil?
Bert married, I don't know. He left here and went to Texas. He married in Texas.
All right.
I never did know who he married.
And then the twins, Jim and...
Well, Jim married, can't tell you which one of them is the oldest.
Yeah.
Jim married Rosalie Holt,
All right.
or Rosie, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
her. And Sam married Lillian Tabor,
Tabor.
T-A-B-O-R.
All right.
I don't-
Grover?
Grover, I don't know. He went to med school and left Gilmore
Did he
County.
become a medical doctor?
Yeah,
Mhm.
and Roscoe, I don't think he was another mental case. I don't
You
think
think
he
he
ever
became an M.D. and he went out west or somewhere?
well, left Gilmore
Left.
County.
Roscoe, you don't know about either?
No, I don't know whether he ever married or not.
Okay. Then, would you know anything about the older brother Sam's family?
Sam? Well, yes, I know that's part about them.
You know Sam's wife's name?
Cole. But I can't think of it.
C-O-L-E?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of the first name.
Okay.
Sam no lie.
Were these bearded? All these men were bearded, the four
Oh,
preachers?
Lord, yeah.
Full bearded, huh?
Oh, yeah. Uncle Jonathan West Beard come way down here.
But they all wore full bearded, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Tall men, too?
Huh?
Were they all tall men or not?
Well, not too tall.
Okay.
Just medium size, I'm afraid.
All right, now Samuel was married to Cole, and who were his children?
Well, let me see. Bunyan.
Bunyan.
Bunyan was the
All right.
oldest one.
Mm-hmm. And then,
And let's see now, let's think a minute. Maddie was the girl.
Mattie with an
Next
M?
girl.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie.
Mm-hmm, okay. Yeah,
And she married Lester Mulkey, one of my cousins,
whose boy was Lester?
Uncle Wash. He's gonna find the mix-up in the western Mulkeys there.
Got a lot of mixes up, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
and let me see, Samuel was the next oldest, I believe.
Samuel had a son named Sam, okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was,
Yeah, right. I got you.
trade the west
Right.
generation, they
Sure.
named over.
And that's why his father may have been a Sam too, we're not sure of that, okay.
Yeah. Well, he married Sam.
Mm-hmm. The son Sam married.
Well, he married Nanny Mulkey. Another one like that.
Whose daughter was she?
She was sister to Lester. That's why I said the mix-up was.
Oh boy, two in the family again, like in your family.
This way.
Yeah.
And Linty
N-I-N?
and wait a minute, now let me see. Will West.
Will was before her, okay.
Yeah, Will was next to Sam.
I got you, yeah.
He married, that's the reason I got mixed up.
Yeah.
I was thinking who he married. He married Minty Mulkey.
Oh, okay, Minty Mulkey.
M-I-N-T-I-E. Yes.
And was
Uncle
she a
Martha.
sister to Lester and?
Yeah, sister Nanny.
And all right. All right.
Let me see, I'll get them.
Bunyan married?
Jane Forster.
Okay. Then the Samuel West family was Bunyan, Mattie, Samuel, and Will.
Will, and no, they're going down to
All right.
the Samuel West family.
Go ahead.
Jonathan.
Another Jonathan in this one.
Yeah.
All right.
And he married Mary Reese.
All right. I guess when I say Reese's, we should establish whose Reese's they are. There's so many of them.
Well, it's
She was a daughter of...
the Reeses in the West, and there.
Okay.
Johnny West married
Mary Reese.
Mary Reese, and Arthur West married Rosa Reese, her sister,
Wait a
but
minute.
they weren't brothers.
Yeah, that was in the other family.
That's the Joe West family.
Yeah, but they were not sister and brother.
Uh-uh.
Oh, I got you, yeah. Go ahead.
Which did I get?
Jonathan was the last child
Well,
of Samuel.
Kink was the next.
All right, Pink West, yeah.
He married Carr's other.
Cara,
Mary's sister. Yeah, you got to have.
Cara, C-A-R-A, or,
Yeah, or they called her Carrie.
all right, Carrie.
Some did, and some called her
Southern, and we've already got down that she married him, huh?
Yeah, I think we put it down
Yeah,
somewhere.
I got it, yeah. Yeah, that was because she was the daughter
We got that in the
of
Southern.
Aaron Southern,
Yeah,
right?
we got that
Gotcha,
in the
yeah,
Southern.
Okay, right. A lot of that into Marion because there weren't that many families around. Where did the
no.
Samuel Wests live?
Samuel West.
Where were they raised?
Well, he lived from Ebenezer on towards Dawsonville. That's it. Dawsonville Road goes by Ebenezer. He lived on towards Dawsonville about, I guess about a mile up the road from the Ebenezer Church.
Toward Dawsonville, 1 mile, okay.
Jonathan West lived about this side of there.
Okay.
For
Jonathan, who married Spriggs, was closer to Ebenezer.
Yeah, and then James C. West, or Grandfather West, he lived just out little ways from the Ebenezer Church. They were all in a row. Them three families was in this.
Okay. James was the closest?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was near the church.
Okay.
But
But some of the people, if we're going to complete, you know, this book kind of thing we've been working on, we've got to get to Aunt Angeline Rackley, who lives at Smyrna near Alice. Because if you're, correct me if I'm wrong, if we could put in front of her what you've given on the,
put what?
if we put the Southern family layout in front of her, she could probably take each
Yes,
marriage and
she
tell
could
you
fill
the
in a lot
children
of
and the
things.
grandchildren of
She
it.
could fill in a
Yeah.
lot of spaces.
Now, who would know the Wests? This Ben at Dahlonega might, you think, know some of the
Well, now,
follow-up on that?
he might.
He's 78 and his mind is very sharp, according to this Hope Goss.
Uh-huh.
Hope Goss his daughter's looking into a lot of this too. Now, another thing I ran into I wanted to tell you about is there's a whole nother bunch of Wests that came not into Gilmer County at all, but a man is studying them. They entered from South Carolina near Augusta and took up land grants in the 1700s.
Uh-huh.
What we got to do is track down who they are and maybe see if there was a Philip missing in that bunch. You see, because Philip seems to stray up here and start the Mulkey clan up this way, as far as we can tell, right?
Yeah.
We can't tell whether he comes in with his son James C. already grown, or or what. But by the time they
Are you
arrive,
talking about Philip Mulkey?
yeah, because we really don't have a line on him where
Well,
he came in
Horse
at.
didn't know anything about him.
No one seems to be able to go back earlier.
Well, all I know is, and I don't know where this man's still living or not, he lived at Tate, and he told Gus once that his grandfather, and he was an old man when he was telling him this, his grandfather told him that in the beginning there were two Mulkey men came to this country from Ireland, Scotland, Ireland, somewhere. He said the Mulkeys was the offspring of the Irish, of Irish descent.
Perhaps Scotch-Irish or Irish,
Scotch-Irish,
no one is sure
yeah.
of that. Yeah.
That's what he said.
Well, there's also some that became famous preachers and all, and pioneers up around Kentucky. We're going to have to figure out.
West.
Yeah, of Mulkeys. That name gets up in there. We're not sure of whether someone from here strays off there or whether they got there earlier.
Well, I don't
It's not
know.
a common name, so we're trying to track it down.
Well, I don't know if the Mulkeys, as far back as I can remember, I know Philip Mulkey. I heard my daddy tell it, and other people talk about it. He deeded and I don't know what year that church was built. Ebenezer Church was established. It was, but he deeded the land, that church and cemetery, for the church and cemetery. And he and his wife were the first two people that were buried there.
And yet, when you and I went